The legend of John Francis Bertles, from Kansas kid to battlefield badass, Salina, Kansas. The 18th of December, 1919. A boy named John Francis Bertles is born. He grows up on South Kansas Avenue, baptized at Sacred Heart, playing varsity basketball, doing odd jobs through the Depression. He's tall, lean, blue-eyed, and a little restless, the kind of kid who looks like he belongs in a Norman Rockwell painting. Nobody knows it yet, but this small-town Kansas boy is gonna help rip apart the Third Reich. By 1939, the world is catching fire. Hitler's armies march across Europe, and John signs up with the Kansas National Guard's 130th Field Artillery Regiment. He's 19. What starts as a guard commitment will snowball into a world war. Training days. From barns and basketball courts to training fields full of mud, John's early Army life is a carousel of camps. Arkansas, Minnesota, Alabama, Texas, California, drill after drill. He learns to run a cannon crew, to calculate trajectories, to live with the ringing in his ears after every blast. In 1940, the Guard is federalized. The 130th becomes part of the 35th Infantry Division, the Santa Fe Division. Then John transfers into the 202nd Field Artillery Group, a corps-level unit whose sole purpose is to break open German strongholds with thunder. Normandy. The 35th Division lands on Omaha Beach. D-Day has already passed, but the beach is still scarred by wreckage, smoke, and death. On the 11th of July at 5 in the morning, the cannons speak. John's crew and dozens of others unleash a rolling storm of steel on German defenses. The target is St. Lo. If Normandy was a meat grinder, St. Lo was its epicenter. Hedgerows carved the countryside into miniature fortresses. German machine guns ripped through advancing infantry. Every 100 yards was another ambush. Artillery like John's was the only thing that kept the attack moving. By the 18th of July, the 35th reached the city. It was rubble. Burned out tanks littered the streets. Entire blocks collapsed into dust. War correspondents called it an immense brazier. John was 1,900 miles from home, in a city on fire, watching history unfold through the smoke of his guns. Mortain. Hitler orders a desperate counterattack at Mortain, hoping to cut off the Allies. The 30th Division gets surrounded, trapped in what becomes known as the Lost Battalion. The 35th moves to rescue them. John's artillery fires relentlessly, slamming German tanks and infantry until the pressure breaks. Picture this: a black sky full of flares and tracer rounds, German rockets screaming, artillery shells bursting in the night, American infantry crouch in foxholes, pinned down. John and his crew send fire mission after fire mission, tearing holes in the enemy line. The Lost Battalion is saved, and the German counterattack collapses. The road to Paris stays open. Nancy, the Saar, and the Blaise. John's guns cover the Moselle River crossings, pounding fortified villages as infantry push into Nancy. Every bridge is mined, every crossing zeroed in by German artillery. It is a slugging match, the kind of fight that leaves landscapes chewed up and villages erased. December brings bitter cold. The 35th crosses the Saar on the 8th and the Blaise on the 12th. Frostbite, artillery duels, foxholes frozen solid. The men hack through ice just to get water. Nobody knows it yet, but something even worse is coming. The Bulge. While family's at home, John is rolling toward Belgium. Hitler has launched the Battle of the Bulge, a last gamble to split the Allied armies. The 35th heads straight for Ardennes, then Bastogne. Snow covers the fields. Soldiers march through drifts with frost caking their eyelashes. Villages like Loutrebois and Villers-le-Bonneau turn into kill zones. German tanks smash into American lines, but John's artillery answers with walls of fire. For 13 days, the 35th endures counterattack after counterattack. Whole companies vanish, but the line holds. Here in the snow and chaos, John earns a battlefield commission. He goes from master sergeant to second lieutenant, promoted on the spot because he's that steady, that good, that unbreakable. The Rhine and the Elbe. By spring 1945, the 35th is on German soil. They smash through the Siegfried Line, cross the Rohr, and reach the Rhine at Wesel. On the 25th of March, they storm the river, artillery hammering the opposite bank until infantry can cross. By the 12th of April, the division reaches the Elbe River, the last obstacle before Berlin. Germany surrenders on May 8th. The war is over. John sails home that fall, discharged in October 1945. He carries a Bronze Star, 5 battle stars, and the memory of everything he endured. He also carries the quiet dignity of men who fought hard and rarely spoke about it. He came back to Kansas, to his family, and built a life after surviving the fire. What it means. John Francis Bertles wasn't just a soldier. He was a Kansas kid who stood in the middle of some of the worst battles of the 20th century and proved himself unshakable. From the hedgerows of Normandy to the snow of the Ardennes, from the Moselle to the Rhine, he fought as part of Patton's Third Army and helped bring down the Nazi regime. He never asked for glory, but he earned it. And for those of us who came after, knowing his story is a reminder that sometimes the quietest people in the room carried the heaviest weight.